Help Wanted 2 is the new video game that's set to release this December 14th, and although thanks to a demo, we know exactly what 3 of the minigames are like, obviously there's a lot more to check out thanks to the trailers we've already been given. Thanks to the new information, we know that, just like with the first Help Wanted, this game is divided into sections, which are Backstage, Fastgate, Staff Only, Food Prep, Ticket Bot, and Sister Location, each with their own respective minigames. And here's where things get interesting. In the Backstage section, we know that we'll have the Roxanne Wolf minigame, where we'll have to do her makeup. We'll do this with the help of a color palette and a screen that will show us where to use each color. After this minigame, it seems that we don't have another one confirmed for this Backstage section, but we can infer that the Build and Paint a Paper Pad minigame could also be included here, where we'll be watched by Sundrop to make sure we're following the steps correctly. Also, we shouldn't forget about the Glamrock Freddy minigame, since we'll probably have to operate him to change a part. With that said, we can move on to the next section, the Fastgate. Here we have Phaser Blast as an example, which will apparently be set in FNaF 1, although something tells me there might be more references. Here at first we'll be shooting at balloons, but as the difficulty increases, we'll also have to defend ourselves from the plush babies and the animatronics at the doors. On the other hand, we have Bonker Bon, and thanks to the demo that came out, we can see that here we'll have to hit Bonbon and Bonnet to earn certain points, but be careful, only them, not Helpy, since hitting Helpy will take away 3 points. But after the initial phase, we see the plush babies again, making this much more fun and a little bit scary. Having already mentioned these 2 minigames, we can move on to the next section, Staff Only, where we can find the first aid minigame in which we'll help Helpy. But at the same time, we have to watch the amount of noise he can make, since he and the announcements on the screen are direct links between us and unwanted entities, like Scrap Baby. Also, as you can see, we'll have a monitor to check on the minigame. Needless to say, the whole atmosphere is very similar to Pizzeria Simulator, so maybe Scrap Baby won't be the only one to show up. Moving away from this setting, we have the maintenance minigame, where we'll try to repair what seems to be a carousel while defending ourselves from Moondrop, and we better hurry up. But that's not all, since Music Man might also be here, in his own minigame, which, as expected, will revolve around music and probably having us repeat patterns. Likewise, there might be one last memory minigame, the one with the endoskeletons, where we'll teach one of them to relate situations with actions, for example, offering a cake to someone who is hungry. But that won't be all, since we'll have to defend ourselves from the other endoskeletons with the help of a Fazcam, the same one we can see in Security Breach. Once this section is finished, we'll move on to Food Prep, where only one minigame has been confirmed, in which we'll prepare fast food, like in the trailer where we see them making some tasty and delicious nachos. In Ticketwood, only one has also been confirmed. Captain Foxy's Journey Through the Wild West, where we'll shoot balls to hit targets and earn points. Although apparently, we'll also be able to stray from the path, very similar to what we saw in the Curse of Dreadbear DLC. And finally, we have what might be the most important section, System Location. Thanks to the first trailer, we know there will be an elevator scene. This could be used as an introduction to the game, or it might belong to a minigame. Let's hope it's the latter. What we do know is that there's a whole minigame set in the breaker room, which has the same name. In it, we'll have to pull the levers until the indicators are at their maximum. While we try to survive Phantom Freddy with the help of a megaphone and pre-recorded hints from Bonbon. Yes, something very similar to the original game. And finally we have the custom night from the already mentioned game, Location. Here, so far, we've only seen Ballora stalking us, but surely all the other animatronics that appeared in the original night will make their appearance here again. Since, for example, for the Electrobab we need to use the Electroshock, and we can see how this mechanic is present in this recreation thanks to an added button. As we can see, Help Wanted 2 is a very promising game, and personally, I consider the first Help Wanted to be the best game in the entire franchise, so you can probably already tell how excited I am for its second part. Without a doubt, virtual reality, the platform on which this installment can be played, is a fundamental part of the essence of Help Wanted and helps improve the atmosphere of the game itself, making us feel like we are truly immersed in the place we're put in. Let's hope that this new video game lives up to, and even surpasses. And I hope to play it soon. I also hope you enjoyed this video, and see you in the next one.